Hi, it's Katie from Katie Cooks and Crafts, and today I'm cooking. I'm going to show you how I made these homemade sweetened dried cranberries. These are just like the craisins that you can buy in the grocery store, but I was able to make mine with a lot less sugar and for a lot cheaper too. Drying fruit is generally pretty straightforward. You chop up fruit, you put it in a dehydrator, and you let it dry. But cranberries are a little bit more involved, and if you look online, there's a bunch of different methods that you can use. I'll put a link in the description box to the method I loosely followed for my cranberries. So I got a bunch of fresh cranberries. I got these after Thanksgiving. They were on clearance for 39 cents a bag. And I'm going to try to make dried cranberries, like sweetened dried cranberries like craisins. I've never done it before, but I thought I would give it a try. So I'm going to sort through these, pick out any that aren't great, and then wash them. So since the cranberries float, I'm just going to let them soak here so all of the dirt and debris and the stems and stuff will fall to the bottom, and then I'll scoop the clean cranberries off the top. While they're soaking, I'm going to go ahead and make a sugar solution, and I'm just going to start with a little bit to start since I don't know how much I'm going to need. I have a quart of water, and I'm going to add a cup of sugar. And these aren't going to be extremely sweet, I just kind of want to take the edge off of the sourness of the cranberries. So I'm going to bring this to a boil just to dissolve the sugar for now. So the sugar solution is boiling now. I'm just going to scoop some cranberries from the top, leaving all the dirt and the debris in the bottom of the sink. There's a stem. And I'm going to add these to the sugar solution. So I'm just going to do this in batches. I'm just going to add the cranberries and let them simmer for a little while until the skins start to pop. Now these are pretty well, mostly all popped open. So I'm going to strain these out and I'm going to reuse this liquid and do my second batch of cranberries. So just going to scoop as much of the cranberries out as I can. I'm just going to let that drain here. And then I will just put them in this baking dish. I have a baking dish right here. I will just put those there and let them cool a little bit while I work on my other cranberries. Okay, and I'm going to put my next batch of cranberries in. So this is how all the cranberries look. They're still a little bit warm, and I tasted one and it's still pretty sour. Now generally for this amount of cranberries, 15 bags of cranberries would be 15 cups of sugar, and I've used one so far. So I'm going to add some more sugar and just stir it in here and just add enough sugar to taste until they're as sweet as I want them. So now I'm just going to spoon the cranberry mixture onto the trays of my dehydrator and then plug in the dehydrator and let it go. This is what the cranberries look like after about 2 hours. Still very, very wet, but I'm just going to stir them around a little bit just to help speed up the drying process. I'm also going to rotate the trays, so I'll put the top ones on the bottom and the middle ones on the outside. This is at about 7 hours, and I'm just going to toss them again. Also, any more that are not fully, popped, I'm just going to poke them with my fork as I stir these around a little bit. So this is what the cranberries look like after about 11 hours. And I'm just going through and breaking them up. And some of them are still pretty whole. So I'm just kind of giving them a squeeze so that the moisture comes out from the center. And you'll see that I also changed out the trays. I was having a really hard time getting them from not sticking to the trays, and I think I wasted a good amount from them sticking to the trays. So I swapped them out for these are like the fruit leather trays, and then I have 2 fruit leather trays, and then I have 2 of these other sort of flexible tray liners that go on the dehydrator trays like this. So they're turning out to be a little bit better. I probably should have used them from the beginning, or I should have at least oiled the trays. I did neither of those things, so I did lose some of my product, but so far these are looking really good. I'm just going to go through and break them up a little bit more, and it's getting late, so I'm going to go to bed and let these run on low overnight, and then we'll check them in the morning. So this is the next morning, and they don't have very much of a change because they were on very low, so I just didn't want them to get overcooked overnight. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to break these apart and just tear them open to expose any spots that are still wet. And a lot of them are done, so I'm going to pull out what's already done and pull that away, and then just let the ones that still need some more time continue to run in the dehydrator. So we're coming up on a full 24 hours that these have been in the dehydrator, and overnight I turned them down to low, so that was about 10 and a half hours where it was basically just a fan blowing on them. But other than that, they've had, I'd say, about 13 hours of active drying time at 135 degrees, and it looks like they're mostly all done. There are a few, I have them pulled here to the side, like this one, that despite being boiled and dehydrated and stabbed at multiple times with a fork, there are a few that are still whole, so these aren't dry all the way. I'm just pulling these to the side. I'll probably just add those to the next batch because I have a whole other batch of this, the cranberry mixture to dehydrate. But I'm just going through and breaking these up a little bit more, letting them cool, and then I'm going to pack them in mason jars and then vacuum seal them. For the second batch, I tweaked my method just a little bit. I used the liner trays and I did brush them with a little bit of vegetable oil, and that really helped keep things from sticking. I was also more proactive about finding and crushing the cranberries that were still whole after cooking, and I didn't just pierce the skin, I crushed them flat so that they would dry a little bit more evenly. I also didn't worry about stirring them as often while they were drying. I did stop about halfway through and break them up, and then near the end I broke them up again, pulled out what was dry, broke up the ones that were still pretty wet, and let them dry for another couple of hours. I didn't turn them down overnight. I left them at 135 degrees the whole time, and it still took them anywhere from 18 to 20 hours to fully dry. In the end, I was able to get 6 quarts of cranberries, plus some bonus fruit leather that I made with the cooking liquid for under $6. I'm really happy with the way that they turned out, and it'll be really nice to have these on hand. I hope you found this video helpful or interesting. If you did, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.